The world's longest species of snake is the reticulated python. It's a constrictor which easily has the power to kill a human. Its jaws open wide enough to swallow a human being. And I don't mean to concern you over much, but there is one now on the loose in Cambridge. Cambridgeshire police say that in the early hours of yesterday morning, the python, which is 9 feet long, was spotted in the Lovell Road area. They traced the owner, who confirmed that the snake was missing. It remains on the loose. Let's go straight to our reporter, Joseph Hall, reporter for the BBC in Cambridge. You're on Lovell Road itself, Joseph.
Jeremy, I am, and I was composed until you just gave us that description.
Well, are you with the owner of the python? Can he put our minds at rest?
I have just spoken to the owner. I think it's the first time he's actually chatted. He doesn't want to come on air at all. He's a lovely chap, a young man from Bulgaria. Hasn't been here long. It's an English python. It has a name, we can confirm. It's called Geraint. He is called Geraint, as in the city. And he is very, very friendly and very harmless, according to the owner. I've been chatting to him for the last 10 minutes, Jeremy, and he's told me the circumstances around which Geraint has escaped.
I'd love to know how that could possibly happen, to be honest.
Well, a slight moot point here. A bit of an argument has taken place between Ivan, the snake's owner, and Ivan's housemate. It seems Ivan was out on Saturday evening enjoying himself, got home just after midnight. His housemate had been snake-sitting, if that's the expression, and had meddled somewhat by going into the room, looking at the cage, and perhaps leaving the cage open, Jeremy. Now, I'm looking at this house on Lovell Road. It's a 30s interwar house. No, sorry, yeah. It's got a big bay window. You can imagine the sort of, semi-3 bedrooms upstairs. I'm looking at the top bay window with the middle window open. That's where the snake came out, but he's not here now.
So, as far as we know, it doesn't pose a direct threat to human beings unless it was to wrap itself around a person who was asleep. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are stories of other snakes, similar snakes that have killed people. There was one in a long way away last year, I think over in Indonesia, which was twice as long as Geraint, and that killed a 54-year-old woman. Ivan is very clear on this, Jeremy. He said that people will be scared because it is a big snake, but it's a friendly snake, and it's a snake that will be infinitely more scared of us than we should be of him. Now, the RSPCA have said, if you've got chickens, for example, or rabbits, you may want to take them in if you live in this area from your garden. As for cats and dogs, the snake will most definitely be more scared of them than they should be of him. As far as humans go, don't necessarily approach it, but he's not a killer like some tabloids have suggested this morning.
Joseph, the snake's owner, who you mentioned, this young man from Bulgaria, tell us why he kept the python in the first place.
Because it's his pet. It's his friend. He loves his snake. He loves Ivan. The reason he's not talking at the moment, Jeremy, is he's worried that this frenzy is going to continue. He cites some of these tabloids. I'm looking at one of them now. It says, hard to swallow, giant man-eating snake on the loose in Cambridge, sparking huge police hunt. Now, Ivan isn't particularly impressed with these sort of headlines. He's saying, for a start, there was a couple of bobbies on the beat who popped along. I spoke to Cambridgeshire Police this morning and said, was this a blue light response? They laughed and said, no, not at all. We've also got crime to look at, as well as missing snakes. But I asked them if they were taking it seriously. They said we are, although there was a cacophony of laughter in the background I could hear as they said that. But the point being here, apparently a lot is being made of this, probably more than should be. But yes, it's a big snake.
Thank you very much to Joseph Hall, reporter for the BBC in Cambridge on Lovell Road. Geraint Hopkins is known as Snake Man, a snake expert based in South Wales. I was going to just raise the issue of the python's safety. I'm just concerned that someone's going to be chasing after it and run it over. Geraint.
Hiya, are you all right, Jeremy?
Yes, good, thanks. How are you?
Well, to start with, it's illegal to leave anything that's not native to this country loose in this country. So basically, he has broken the law, although it escaped, obviously. He didn't leave it out himself, but it's still against the law, and they can get prosecuted for it, because I had a chap prosecuted in South Wales for leaving a royal python out, and he had £200 fine in the court.
Really? So he'd let it escape, and he was in the same kind of circumstances, did he?
Same sort of circumstances,
right.
Yeah. The problem you've got is, Jeremy, now these snakes can grow up to 30 foot, okay?
30? Wow.
The biggest that's ever been found is in Indonesia, and that was 40 foot. Now, they have got 100 teeth, which are obviously very sharp, okay? The problem is that UV now, because the sun is shining, when you put UV on snakes, they tend to get hungry.
Yes.
It helps them eat, so the UV helps them heat. So maybe, he might go for a cat or a dog, but you don't know. The snake is now loose. Now, the problem is if snakes get out, obviously they don't want to get caught again.
Yeah.
He's probably enjoying himself now in this weather. So there is a danger. I think they should be more careful. Reptile handlers should be really careful what they do with these big retics, because I've never seen a friendly one. I mean, I had one. My friend had two, and they weren't friendly at all, and they can actually turn. And if an adult was to step on it by accident or go near it, it could actually strike at them, which would give them a nasty bite and could actually constrict them.
Yeah, but there's one thing to give you a nasty bite, but it can't. It has to have an unsuspecting human, doesn't it? Because it can't wrap itself around you while you're sort of just standing there. So it could only really attack people in Cambridge in their sleep if they left their bedroom windows open, surely.
Yeah, it could be, yes. It could be right there, yeah. But the problem being is animals like cats and dogs, it probably, if it's hungry, will go for them.
Yeah, and we had that incident in Bristol, you'll remember, where, again, it was a python.
Wilbur the cat.
It crushed and killed a cat called Wilbur and then swallowed Wilbur whole, very sadly.
Yeah, it did. And, it would have to be a little bit bigger to swallow a human being. That's a bit small to swallow a full human being. But, the thing is, it could actually constrict them. It has to bite to constrict them, you see.
Yeah. But how would it get a cat? Because, again, you'd think cats are quite sprightly and it would just hop away.
Yeah, no, they're very fast movers, believe you me. Though it might be 9 foot long, they can strike from a distance. So, yeah, it would probably get a cat or even, as you said, chickens or, rabbits, anything like that. I can't... The thing is, he's like... Although he's a big snake, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. He could be anywhere there now. He could be in somebody's garden. He could be in somebody's shed.
What would you do if you lived in Cambridge?
I would be careful, that's all. And I would advise anybody, if they do see the snake, to dial 999 immediately.
Right. Not wait.
And then if they can, if the snake's on the move, try to follow him at a distance. If he's on stop, then just get the police as soon as they can.
Right. Follow him at what sort of distance, though?
A couple of feet away from the snake.
Oh, so not 20 yards or something. Okay.
No, just a couple of feet out of striking distance. Because the thing is, it probably wouldn't attack. You never know whether it would attack a human or not. This guy doesn't know much about snakes by the sounds of things, and maybe they are more frightened of us, but felt threatened, they will strike.
Okay, that's very good advice, Geraint. I'm sorry your dog's out of control in the back there. Is it on the alert there for something?
No, it's just barking. I've got pups, so...
Oh, how sweet. So you've got a whole thing going on there.
I got a whole thing going on, yes, Jeremy.
Thank you very much, Geraint Hopkins, known as Snake Man. No, there is I'm going to say this in as level a way as I can. Nobody should panic at this stage, but there is a 9-foot python that is at large in Cambridge. I know 9 foot sounds very long, but they actually grow to 30. And at the moment, I don't think there's anything to worry about as long as you're not anywhere near it. Wayne in Manchester says a 9-foot python cannot eat a person. Oh, this is helpful, Wayne. It would choke to death, he says. I had an 11-foot python, and the most it could handle was a duck. I don't even want to know what happened there. Once outside, they cool down and stop moving. The owner will either find it curled up, starving, or already dead. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about the python's welfare here, because what we don't want is for someone to attack it or run it over, it's crossing a road or something. Andre Davis in Reading, you've got a reptile shop there.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Right, and you think 9 foot isn't long enough to swallow a human being? Because I'm 6'3", so it could cope with me, couldn't it?
No.
Really?
No, not at all.
What would it do? Would it stop halfway up the leg?
No, it wouldn't even attempt to eat you, Jeremy. It would, the worst it would do is maybe strike out at you with a bite to try and put you off touching it, but certainly not try and eat you at all.
So it is smaller animals that need to worry, for example, cats?
Cat maybe, but cats are normally pretty quick and will move. Things like pet rabbits in gardens or chickens, keep an eye out. A snake of that size, current temperature in the country, chances are it's underneath someone's shed in the dark out of the way.
Yeah.
What you've got to remember is they're nocturnal species, so they'll be hunting at night,
Oh,
not
great.
during the day.
Oh, great.
During the day, they'll hide in a dark, warm area and just chill out.
Would you advise people in Cambridge to sleep with their windows closed?
No, it's not going to get into a bedroom window. It's not going to scale the walls and actively seek into people's houses that way.
All right.
No.
Thank you. Thanks, Andre. Nikki, Princess in Caston in Norfolk.
Yep.
What would you do if you saw it?
If it was in my yard, because I've got pheasants and I have got two baby muntjac deers, I'd shoot it.
You'd shoot it?
Yes, I would.
Couldn't you trap it with a saucepan or something?
With a what?
Well, a saucepan or a net or something.
A saucepan for a 9-foot snake? Are you joking?
Well, put it over it. You've got to put something over its head.
Well, actually, I haven't got anything handy to put over its head, and it's a menace, and it will take young creatures.
Yes.
And the owner should really have been a little less careless. And I don't see, I don't understand people keeping snakes, but that's up to them. But if it came here, I would shoot it.
I'm amazed that apparently it got out because the owner had his friend round. The friend goes to look at it, opens the cage door, in brackets, why would you do that? And then of all the things, to forget to close the door on the cage. I just hope that bloke, the friend, isn't a pilot or anything like that.
Well, he needs shooting as well, probably.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but you...
No, but, it's very careless.
It is careless.
For people who don't know snakes, they are pretty terrifying, and there are pythons. There used to be pythons in Singapore. I was walking along Orchard Road once, and one just dropped out of the tree in front of me, and it was huge.
Good grief.
Huge. Yeah.
Did it strike, or...?
No, it didn't strike, but they used to get run over on the roads, obviously, because of traffic. But they're not very nice people, really, pythons. They say they're gentle. I think I beg to differ.
Okay, well, I had an experience with a boa constrictor because we brought one into the show, and I can't remember, I think it might have been an escape one in Bristol, and all I can say is I'd always wondered why no one could ever escape when they were constricted, and the answer came to me when this thing, which was under supervision, it was wrapped around me while I was on the air, and I could feel the power. If it had wanted to crush me, it would have done it. The body was so powerful wrapped around me. I was actually stunned.
They're so strong. They really are extremely strong.
Yeah.
The
All
little
right.
animals don't stand a chance.
No.
I've got my deer to think of, and I haven't got a cat, but next door neighbour's got 4 cats.
Well, they've got to be. Are you anywhere near Cambridge?
No, I don't think he's going to come up this way. But if he does, he better watch out.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for the offer. Yeah, lots of people with snake experiences. Nell texts, I used to have a 6-foot boa constrictor called Charisma. She had free run of the house and would often sleep in my bed with me. That's amazing. Gordon Scott says he would eat the snake. Thank you for the offer. Yeah, lots of people with snake experiences. We better leave it there, Steve.